In this session, I want to talk about why I can offer a deeper level of coaching. Now, I spent 6 years training as a psychotherapist after I did my training as a coach. And it just brings such a deeper level of understanding of what's going on. So I bring those skills and knowledge to basically be more effective as a coach. You see, coaching is very much forward facing. How do we get you to a better place? But very often you've got to ask, well, why are you not there already? And actually it's very often because there are archaic roots that stops us from getting there. So actually a lot of the work we have to do is about unblocking those areas that are preventing them from getting to where they want to get to. And the harsh reality is that coaches do not have the training, the skills, the experience, or the confidence. Now, I know that because I was trained as a coach, and what I've learned now from doing the psychotherapy has demonstrated what is the depth of the new level I have from what I first thought I had. So therefore, my greater understanding of what is really going on basically helps me to ask better questions and actually to be in a space that really allows that change to take place. So let me share some of the stuff that I do. Now, this is still coaching. It's just informed by my greater understanding. So the first thing is about quality of relationship. We know all the empirical results, work of sort of that book there, is fundamentally about how is the quality of the relationship that it allows and affects change to happen. So we are working all the time on trying to create an even more powerful quality of relationship. And that includes all those classic things like unconditional positive regard, congruence, and empathy. And we're talking about real empathy here, a real sense of understanding and sensing what is going on for them. Then there is a much deeper level of awareness and sensitivity to what's going on at the client, often at a non-verbal level. So it may be the very slight tightening of the eyes, or the pursing of the lips, or the constant playing with the face, or something like that. It can be within the tonality, and of course, very often it can be with the words they're using. Those Freudian slips we often talk about. And so it's those little things, is the crack that lets the light in that we're really trying to focus on, because that really opens up into the vista of what's going on inside of them. Which really leads into another two things, that we work a lot in patterns. What's the pattern a person is in? And once we can identify the pattern and bring it to their awareness, then it allows them to have some degree of control and we can explore different patterns that will get them to maybe a better place. And we also know that fundamentally a lot of the stuff is locked into the belief system, into identity we have. And identity is just a belief we have about who we are. And therefore working with what we call internal working models or schemas, and trying to actually understand what are those that are really driving that person. What are the scripts? What are their injunctions that's going on? And once we can explore those, we can then maybe massively change where that person is. And very often, a therapist, a coach, a counselor can only go as far as they themselves are prepared to go. So you don't do 6 years of personal therapy yourself without being able to understand where are your particular own roadblocks, where are your demons, and actually therefore having dealt with them and processed them It allows you to go to a much deeper and start to explore and be okay to ask questions that maybe other people aren't prepared to ask. Having said that, the fundamental thing we have to do is to create a safe place for our client to feel they can say whatever they want to say and not be judged, and to be held and know that nothing's going to happen. It's all going to be okay. And that is a very important role we do. So there's a lot of us holding their emotions, holding the safe space. And that's why a lot of stuff we're doing is we're modeling practices. We're modeling how to be in a relationship, how to respond when other people act in certain ways. How do we deal with our emotions? And the final thing I think we do is that, there's a phrase we often use inside about transference, about where someone can't hold something themselves and they give it to you. They transfer it out of themselves into you. And coaching doesn't really go there. It doesn't really acknowledge that. But the reality is transfer happens all the time in all relationships. And actually, it's in denial if we don't acknowledge that. And basically, if you haven't been trained in that area, you're not going to pick it up. And in many ways, a lot of the work is within transference. So what's going on? So understanding that is really powerful. So that's why I fundamentally believe that even though this is coaching, you're just going to be able to understand the client at a deeper level and know how to ask the right questions that is going to unlock it for them.